in the production notes, in just like reading kind of the exhaustive research. And I imagine, obviously, you probably do that on any project.
Right.
But what was kind of unique about this, and kind of the extra time or amount of research you had to spend with it? Yeah,
well, I mean, certainly, you know, read a lot of scripts that are period pieces, but they're one period. It's the 50s or it's the 60s or what have you. And this is a movie that travels through 8 decades. And so certainly challenging, but as a filmmaker, really exciting because you get to recreate not 1, but 8 different decades. So that was probably the sort of singular most interesting and daunting part of the process.
Yeah. Did it add, I mean, do you feel like it added more time that you had to kind of research and prep, or was it just kind of the same amount that you would normally
No, our prep period ended up being pretty long for this, which was great for me. I mean, I talk about the Coen brothers and David Fincher a lot, and the fact that you hear them both say it in different ways, that you make your movie in prep, and it's true on every movie, regardless of how complicated it is, and that if you do your job in prep, production should be boring, and it never is, but that's the goal. And so for this, it was a longer prep period than we might have normally had on a movie that of this size, because of getting all of those eras right and doing the research and dialing in everything from costume design to hair and makeup to you know, the props was a really critical part of making this journey feel real for her.
Yeah, I mean, I love that it's been quoted as magical realism, because watching it, you sort of feel there's something different. You're not watching something that's totally, you know, cut and dry realism, but it has that lovely tone. And
oh, good. Well, we were going for something, you know, not dissimilar from, I mean, it's a love story first and foremost, but not dissimilar from a movie like Big, even, that has this magical realism hook to it, but the rest of the movie is played really straight and is more about the emotional journey of the protagonist, and that's sort of the approach we took here.
How was, I mean, casting, I feel like A+ of all the A-list, or the people that you got in were just perfect.
Yeah, we got very lucky. We got great people.
Yeah, was it just going out to them, having conversations, or did they kind of fall in love with the story? And
well, obviously we cast Adaline first, which might go without saying. We got lucky in that, you know, Blake read it and really wanted to do it right away, and we sat down and she really poured her heart out about how much she loved the material and clearly had a grasp on what was required. So we were lucky in the fact that, you know, she sort of came to us and said, I'd love to do this, which is always exciting because you want an actor who really wants to be there, and she came to it with that. And then, you know, with Harrison and McKeel and Ellen Burstyn and Kathy Baker, you know, they all, I think, fell in love with what I did, which is a unique story, and you just don't get a lot of those anymore, especially about a story about the beauty of growing old, which is just not something I think we've seen much of.
Yeah. Such good points. It's all good. What are you going to do next?
I'm trying to figure it out. There's something, the good people at Lionsgate who we worked on with this, and Lakeshore, we've been talking to both those guys about something, and they've been wonderfully supportive and a good family to make this movie with. So I hope something with either of them or both of them. Yeah.
And Miss Rashida again.
Yeah,
so
Rashida
great.
Jones.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.